Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Pretty good. Hi. Are you Richard?
Yes, I'm Richard. What's your name?
My name is Andy. I'm from the United States. Where are you
It's,
from?
it's nice to meet you, Randy.
Nice to
And
meet you.
yeah, I'm from Brazil. I live in a city named Guarujá. It's in the state of São Paulo. Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
you
It's
right.
look. Go ahead,
Go ahead.
please.
No,
No,
go
you
ahead.
you
So
you're
some
gonna
you
ask me
were you,
something.
no, you were right there in São Paulo. So you're right there, close to Rio. Not real close, but
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
close to Rio.
yeah. It takes like 8 hours by car to get to Rio. So
About
yeah,
two about 200 miles.
yeah. Do you think 8 hours? What do you think about 8 hours? Do you
That's
think
a
it's
long
fast?
that's a long drive for 200 miles.
Yes, it is for sure. Yeah, and but have you ever been, to Brazil?
No, I have never visited Brazil, but someday I would like to go to um, Chile, Easter Island. You know Easter Island?
No, I do not. I-
There's an island off of the coast of Chile that
Okay.
has the big monolith statues on it. You know that are looking up into the sky. The big statues that are thousands of years old.
Oh, great. I'll look it up. I've never heard of. I've never heard nor seen it.
It's hard to think of Easter Island. It's hard to think of Easter Island as part of Chile because it's so far away.
I see. So, do you like history? That's why you'd like to go to that place. You like
Um,
history, and
I like
culture things.
yes, I like history. I like ancient civilizations, um, that type of thing. I enjoy that. Yes, I do. Uh, have you been? Tell me where you have been to in South America to explore any kind of type of pyramids or anything like
I'm not into, you know,
that.
history. I like history, but yeah, I've recently gotten interested in learning more about history because knowing about our past, it sorts it sorts of make us, be, able to understand the future. For example, let's see what's going on right now, in Ukraine. So it's about things. A lot of things happened in the past, especially in the World War II. So it's a consequence. So we could have predicted what is going on right now based on the past. So that's what makes me so fascinated about history. And yeah, but I gotta tell you, right now I'm studying in college. I've been studying to be an English teacher in college, and as I'm doing that, we gotta study a lot about linguistics. So I'm studying to be an English teacher. So and this course is focused especially in English because here in Brazil there are so many colleges and they focus either on English or on Portuguese. Sometimes you can teach both, but my college is mainly English, so that's awesome.
I'm finding that more and more all over the world that the middle language that people tend to speak when they travel is English. Um, if somebody from Brazil travels to Germany, they don't speak Portuguese or German; they speak English to each other.
Yeah, English is amazing because it's a tool that we use to communicate to people from other countries, no matter what countries they live in, right? That's
Yes,
great. English is in the middle of all
yes,
the languages. It's great. Yeah, that's why I love it. That's why
yes.
I'm so passionate about it.
You mentioned some history of South America, and have you ever been to Peru?
I've never been outside of Brazil.
Um,
Fortunately, I would like to, and that is one more reason why English is amazing, and that's why I'm studying it because I'd like to go to England, the United States, to Ireland, a lot of English-speaking countries, and I am planning on getting married I don't know exactly when, but it I don't know. It may be next year or 2 years from now, and I'm intending to go to an English speaking country, or with my wife
Yes.
on the honeymoon. Mhm.
That go there. See that people from America will come to Brazil, and people from Brazil will come to America.
Yeah, yeah, and yeah, it's great. Even though it's so close to go to Chile, to Argentina, yeah, I've never been to any of those places before.
Well, Peru is also fascinating to me because of Machu Picchu. Have you ever heard of that?
Yes, I have. Machu
Up
Picchu.
on the mountain, the ruins of the ancient civilization that are up on the mountains, and just to contemplate how these people built these things, how they did this thousands of years ago. Not only dragged these 100-ton stones, but dragged them up a mountain and,
Yeah,
and made these magnificent megaliths. I that fascinates me. How trying to
yeah,
figure out how they did it. Now I start to wonder sometimes, did the ancient people, did they know more than we did?
yeah, yeah. That's a pretty good question. But do you know about slavery? Did people in that period were slaves, and that's why they carried the rocks up the mountain? So
I,
what
I
was
know
like?
I know that's some common beliefs at that time, and I don't doubt that stuff because back in those days, thousands of years ago, that was probably common. But still, I have to answer the question, how did a 100-ton or um, 2 million pound rock get pulled by, let's just say, 1,000 slaves or 10,000? How did they get that from 200 miles away and then bring it up to the top of a mountain?
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
know what you mean. Like the means they used to do
yes,
it, right? To
even
accomplish it.
the machinery that we have today, the heavy machinery, I used to build large mining vehicles, and one of them was a large mining dump truck that was bigger than a house. You could put a house in the back of the truck.
Great.
And one wheel was bigger than a car.
Oh my
And
god.
this vehicle could not haul that stone up that mountain. So, how did human beings, no matter how many of them they were, because this vehicle I built would have had the horsepower of more than 1 million humans. So, how on earth did they get that up that mountain without modern technology? So, I start thinking my own theory. I start thinking that maybe these are much older structures than we think they are. Maybe there was an much more ancient civilization on Earth at that time that they are no longer here. And they had technology that we do not have. Maybe Machu Picchu is not 5,000 years old. Maybe it's 50,000 years old because
Mm,
they don't even find tools around these ruins. Like even like in Mexico, some of the pyramids in Mexico or the Aztec pyramids, they don't even find tools around these. There are no
oh,
tools. There are nothing left behind. Everything is gone. So, and it was during the Copper Age. So even if they had thousands of people chiseling away at these things, the copper is not as hard as the stone they were trying to cut.
I see.
So how did
Yeah,
they
it's
use it?
fascinating. Yeah, yeah, I've never thought of that in that way. That's interesting. Yeah, especially for example, let's pretend if we had to do it without using the technology that we have
Yes,
today. As you said, our machines couldn't do it. So we would have to think out of the box in order to do those things. So I know what you mean. So I think they could be even smarter than us.
that's what I'm thinking. Maybe these are
Yeah.
much older structures, like even the pyramids in Egypt. Maybe they are much older than we think they are. And that there was a civilization of humans that lived here at that time that had knowledge that we do not possess. M-
Yeah,
I mean, maybe they could move things with their mind. I don't know.
yeah,
Uh,
unfortunately, a lot of content, a lot of written registers of them. Unfortunately, they don't exist anymore. Unfortunately, due to time, due to atmosphere, and some, the environment. So yeah, as it's there are a lot of information. There are a lot of pieces of information lost. Unfortunately, we'll have to. It will be harder to figure it out.
Now, there was one archaeologist that went to Egypt, and there's a group of them that actually believe that the pyramids are over 100,000 years old. Because and one actually said he has evidence because on the the Sphinx with the head of a man and the body of a lion
Yeah, I do.
in Egypt, there are watermarks on the side of it, and
Okay.
there hasn't been a sea of any depth in the desert near Cairo for over 100,000 years. So how did the
Right.
watermarks cut into the side of the Sphinx? So how did it
Yeah,
get that
great
high?
question.
Yeah, so that's what he's saying. He's saying, how would water have cut into the side of this like it was submerged in water when there hasn't been water here for 100,000 years? And so a lot of that, and no tools are found around, no tools. But if you had researchers today say, okay, I want you to go 200 miles away, I want you to use no modern technology, and I'm going to give you a stone hammer and a copper chisel, and you cut me 100-ton block and transport it up the Nile and bring it here and then take it 300 feet up and stack it. I want to see you do it. You know, they don't know how to answer these questions. And the same thing for some of the things like the Easter Island in Chile, and for Machu Picchu in Peru. These these things defy explanation. To this day, they
Exactly.
still argue, how in the world did they do it?
Exactly. Are you an archaeologist?
I love archaeology. I study it, but I am not an archaeologist, but I do study it. I love
I see.
ancient civilization. I love prehistory. I love everything to do with from the dawn of time to today. I like the prehistoric animals. I like dinosaurs. I like ancient ruins, things found under the ocean. Oh, what about the one they found in the ocean near Japan? Uh,
Uh,
do you remember that one, or have you ever heard about it? There's off the
I'm
coast of
not
Japan.
sure.
Off the coast of Japan, they have this mega structure, sort of like Machu Picchu, that's all cut and flat, but it's under the ocean. So they say it has to be the oldest structure on Earth. So it must be hundreds of thousands of years old. So that's why I think maybe there was a civilization that was here before us. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's
probably
fascinating.
exactly. Yeah, it is. And but are you only into the archaeology, or do you like, for example, the political history, for example, especially in the United States?
Yes, I do like political history, but I do study like 20th century political history. Um, like from well, even the 19th century. Matter of fact, I like it all. I go back to like we have like 10 seconds. Richard, I'm sorry I did all the
Uh,
talking.
oh no, no, no worries. I talked a lot too. Thanks so much for this class. Okay, it
You
was
have a
awesome.
good day.
You too. Bye
Bye bye.
bye.